Sarvebhyah hritpurvaka namaskaraha. Welcome to class 31 of Learn to Chant Soundaryalahari of Adi Shankaracharya. So last class, as you all know, we had a revision session. So we revised verses 61 to 70. Previous to that, we had learned 69 to 72. So as usual, we will quickly revise 69 to 72 and then move on to learn next four verses today, 73 to 76. So I hope you all are practicing the verses already taught in class. Welcome once again to all of you and to our panelists for today, Vihan, Prithvi and Charu. Let us begin as usual with Guru Vandanam. Request all of you to please sit up straight as we chant the verses. Gururev gatir gurumev bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave Na guru paramam shishurasmi guroho Matirasti gurau mama pahi guru Shruti smriti purananamayam karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Soundaryalahari Kartre Sarvamangaladayine Shankaracharya Varyaya Yatirajayate Namaha Shankarupena machittam pankikritamabhudhyaya kinkari yasya samaya Shankaracharyamashraye Shivashaktya yuktaha yadi bhavati shaktah prabhavitum Na chedevam devaha na khalu kushalaspanditum-api atastvam-aradhyam harihara virinchadibhirapi pranantum stotum va kathamakrita punya prabhavati Gane rekhastisraha Gati gamaka gitaika nipune Vivahabhyanadha praguna guna sankhya pratibhuvaha Virajante nana vidha madhura raga karabhuvam Trayanam gramanam Sthiti niyama simana ivate Mrinali mridvinam Tava bhujalatanam chatasrinam Chaturbhis saundaryam Sarasija bhavastauti vadanaihi Nakhebhyas santrasyan Prathama mathanadandhakaripoho Chaturnam shirshanam Samama bhayahastarpanadhiya Nakhanam udyotaihi Navanalina ragam vihasatam Karanante kantim Kathaya kathayamah kathamume Kayachidvasamyam Bhajatu kalayahanta kamalam Yadi Kridalakshmi charanatalalaksharasacanam Samande viskandadvipavadana pitam stanayugam तवेदन्नः खेदं हरतु सततं प्रस्नुतमुखम् यदालोक्याशङ्काकुलितहृदयो हासजनकः स्वकुम्भौ हेरम्बः परिमृशति हस्तेन झटिति. Okay, so we will learn 73 to 76 today. Prithvi, please unmute. Ram. Amute vakshojau.
Amute vakshojau. Amute vakshojau.
Amritarasamanikya kutupau.
Amritarasamanikya kutupau. Amritarasamanikya kutupau.
Nasandehaspandaha.
Nasandehaspandaha. Nasandehaspandaha.
Nagapati patake manasinaha.
Nagapati patake manasinaha. Nagapati patake manasinaha.
Pibantau tau yasmat.
Pibantau tau yasmat. Pibantau tau yasmat.
Avidita vadhu sangarasikau.
Avidita vadhu sangarasikau. Avidita vadhu sangarasikau.
Kumara vadyapi.
Kumara vadyapi. Kumara vadyapi.
Dvirada vadana kraunchadalanau.
Dvirada vadana kraunchadalanau. Dvirada vadana kraunchadalanau.
Amute vakshojau amritarasa manikya kutupau nasandehaspandaha. So there is a dvitvam. Nasandehaspandaha. Second sa is heard after sandeha. Dvitvam there. Nagapati patake manasinaha pibantau tau yasmat avidita vadhu. Dhu is mahaprana. Avidita vadhu sangarasikau kumara vadyapi dvirada vadana krauncha. Again, please note the dvitvam. Second k is heard. Dvirada vadana krauncha dalanau. Okay, so let us do one line, that is one pada at a time. Amute vakshojau amritarasamanikya kutupau.
Amute vakshojau amritarasamanikya kutupau. Amute vakshojau amritarasamanikya kutupau.
Nasandehaspandaha nagapati patake manasinaha.
Nasandehaspandaha nagapati patake manasinaha. Nasandehaspandaha nagapati patake manasinaha.
Pibantau tau yasmat avidita vadhu sangarasikau.
Pibantau tau yasmat avidita vadhu sangarasikau. Pibantau tau yasmat avidita vadhu sangarasikau.
Kumara vadyapi dvirada vadana kraunchadalanau.
कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ.
So here, in case you decide to combine yasmat and avidita, it would be yasmad avidita. So the t and a, instead of that, you get da. Yasmad avidita, but however, that is only when we are combining the sandhi. Next line, kumara vadyapi is a hrasva. So we need to remember to keep it short and not prolong that. We will do half a verse. Amute vakshojau amritarasamanikya kutupau nasandehaspandaha nagapati patake manasinaha.
अमूते वक्षोजौ अमृतरसमाणिक्यकुतुपौ न सन्देहस्पन्दः नगपतिपताके मनसिनः. अमूते वक्षोजौ अमृतरसमाणिक्यकुतुपौ न सन्देहस्पन्दः नगपतिपताके मनसिनः.
पिबन्तौ तौ यस्मात् अविदितवधू सङ्गरसिकौ कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ.
पिबन्तौ तौ यस्मात् अविदितवधू सङ्गरसिकौ कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ. पिबन्तौ तौ यस्मात् अविदितवधू सङ्गरसिकौ कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ.
Uttamam. Now the entire verse. Amute vakshojau amritarasamanikya kutupau nasandehaspandaha nagapati patake manasinaha. Pibantau tau yasmat aviditavadhu sangarasikau कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ.
अमूते वक्षोजौ अमृतरसमाणिक्यकुतुपौ न सन्देहस्पन्दः नगपतिपताके मनसिनः. पिबन्तौ तौ यस्मात् अविदितवधू सङ्गरसिकौ कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ. अमूते वक्षोजौ अमृतरसमाणिक्यकुतुपौ न सन्देहस्पन्दः नगपतिपताके मनसिनः. पिबन्तौ तौ यस्मात् अविदितवधू सङ्गरसिकौ कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ.
One more thing to note here, Amrita, I've pointed this out in a few other verses also. It should be pronounced as Amrita Rasa, not Amruta. It is not Amruta. There is no extra M there. And it is not U, it is R. So Amrita Rasa. So that please note. One more question here, whether T has to be clipped in Yasmat. No. Pibantau tau Yasmat. T is heard completely. It is a Vyanjana, that is, there is no Swara there. It is with a Halanta, half letter. Pibantau tau Yasmat. I said when you combine the sandhi, if you don't want to pause, it would become yasmadavidita. Yasmadavidita, only if you are combining the sandhi. There you don't, if you combine the sandhi, t doesn't remain, d comes instead of t. So yasmadavidita. But when we, as of now, we are pausing in all verses. So yasmat avidita vadhu. And kumaravadyapi, also we are pausing. So there is no dvitvam before dvirada vadana. We are pausing after kumaravadyapi, then dvirada vadana krauncha dalanau. Okay, so I hope that is clear. These were a few questions. We will move to the next verse. Charu.
Ram.
Ram, Charu. Yes. Bahatyamba. Stambera kumbha prakritibhihi. Samarabdham. Muktamanibhiramalam. Haralatikam. Kucha bhogo. Bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam. Pratapavyamishram. Puradamayitu kirtimivate. Uttamam. Vahatyamba. Stambe ramadanuja kumbha prakritibhihi. So we cannot pause between this pada. So we have to chant it at a stretch. If at all you want to take a break, you could after Vahatyamba. But generally where we pause, that yati, that place where we pause according to this chandas, there is no possibility to pause because Stambe ramadanuja kumbha prakritibhihi is one word, samastapadam. Also please note, Stambe ramadanuja kumbha prakritibhihi. Bha, bhi, mahaprana. Kumbha prakriti. There is a dvitvam. Extra p is heard before pra. Okay, so please note this. Samarabdham, dha. Again, in this line also, we cannot pause in the yati, the place where we generally pause according to this meter. Samarabdham, muktamanibhiramalam, bhi, mahaprana. Haralatikam, kucha bhogo, bho. In this line also, we cannot pause where we generally pause. That is after the sixth letter, but we can't pause here. Kucha bhogo, bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam. We chant this. Bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam at a stretch. Bimbadhara, dha. Ruchibhira, bhi, again, ruchibhirantashabalitam. Pratapavyamishram puradama-yituhu. So, visarga followed by ka, we get jihva muliya. So, puradama-yituh kirtimivate. Puradama-yituh kirtimivate. One more thing to note. Here, kumbha prakritibhihi dvitvam, p, extra p is heard, p is doubling. Then Pratapavyamishram. Again, dvitvam there. Pratapavya, extra b is heard. So Pratapavyamishram, dvitvam there. Also, I told you Jihva Muliya. So please remember, the first 3 lines we cannot pause after the 6th letter like we usually do. Okay, so we either take a pause after the word, either Vahatyamba in the first line or Samarabdham in the second line or Kucha Bhogo, but we don't have to there. We can, if possible, I would suggest that you chant the entire pada in one breath. With practice, it is definitely possible. So we will do one pada at a time. Vahatyambastamberamadanujakumbha prakritibihi.
Vahatyambastamberamadanujakumbha prakritibihi. Vahatyambastamberamadanujakumbha prakritibihi.
Samarabdham muktamanibiramalaam haralatikam.
Samarabdham muktamanibiramalaam haralatikam. Samarabdham muktamanibiramalaam haralatikam.
Kucha bhogo bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam.
Kucha bhogo bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam. Kucha bhogo bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam.
Pratapavyamishram puradamayitu kirtimivate.
Pratapavyamishram puradamayitu kirtimivate. Pratapavyamishram puradamayitu kirtimivate.
So here, if you observe keenly, even vyamishram, there also you are getting a dvitvam between me and sh. Mishram, that sh is doubling. Pratapavyamishram. Okay, so note this dvitvam also. We will do half a verse at a time. Vahatyambastamberamadanujakumbha prakritibihi. Samarabdham muktamanibiramalaam haralatikam.
Vahatyambastamberamadanujakumbha prakritibihi. Samarabdham muktamanibiramalaam haralatikam. Vahatyambastamberamadanujakumbha prakritibihi. Samarabdham muktamanibiramalaam haralatikam.
Kucha bhogo bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam. Pratapavyamishram puradamayitu kirtimivate.
Kucha bhogo bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam. Pratapavyamishram puradamayitu kirtimivate. Kucha bhogo bimbadhara ruchibhirantashabalitam. Pratapavyamishram puradamayitu kirtimivate.
Uttamam. Now the entire verse. Vahatyambastamberamadanujakumbha prakritibihi. Samarabdham muktamanibiramalaam haralatikam. Kucha bhogo bimbadhara ruchibhirantah shabalitam pratapavyamishram puradamayitu kirtimivate.
महत्यम्बस्तम्बेरमदनुजकुम्भ प्रकृतिभिः समारब्धां मुक्तामणिभिरमलां हारलतिकां कुचा भोगो बिम्बाधररुचिभिरन्तः शबलितां प्रतापव्यामिश्रां पुरदमयितुः कीर्तिमिवते. वाहत्यम्बस्तम्बेरमदनुजकुम्भ प्रकृतिभिः समारब्धां मुक्तामणिभिरमलां हारलतिकां कुचा भोगो बिम्बाधररुचिभिरन्तः शबलितां प्रतापव्यामिश्रां पुरदमयितुः कीर्तिमिवते.
Next one. Vihan. Tavastanyam manye.
तवस्तन्यं मन्ये तवस्तन्यं
धरणीधर कन्ये हृदयतः. Vihan, we are not able to hear you. I have a feeling that the mic is probably away from you or something like that. Sorry, I'm only able to hear a few letters here and there. Shall we try again? Yeah,
Okay.
from the beginning. Tavastanyam manye.
तवस्तन्यं मन्ये तवस्तन्यं मन्ये
धरणीधर कन्ये हृदयतः.
धरणीधर कन्ये हृदयतः धरणीधर कन्ये हृदयतः.
Yeah, in one angle, it's able to catch your voice. If you move a little away, we are not able to hear. Okay. So the first time what you chanted Tavastanyam, we could hear clearly. Paya paravaraha.
Payah paravaraha Payah paravaraha
Parivahati sarasvatamiva.
Parivahati sarasvatamiva Parivahati sarasvatamiva
Dayavatyadatam.
Dayavatyadatam Dayavatyadatam
Dravida shishura swadyatavayat.
Dravida shishura swadyatavayat Dravida shishura swadyatavayat
Kavinam praudhanam.
Kavinam praudhanam
Ajani kamaniyah kavayita.
Ajani kamaniyah kavayita Ajani kamaniyah kavayita.
Tamam. So Tavastanyam manye. Here Dvitvam, extra s is heard, the s is doubling. So Tavastanyam manye. Dharani dhara kanye hridayataha. Dha and dha mahaprana. Hridaya, note the pronunciation of that word. Hridayata. It is not hrudaya. nor is it hridaya. It is hridayataha. Payah paravaraha. Visarga followed by pa, what we call upadhmaniya. So there is expulsion of air and we close the lips. So payah paravaraha. We don't chant the visarga completely. Parivahati sarasvatamiva. Va is hrasvaswara, that is a short vowel, so we don't have to prolong it. Dayavatya dattam dravida shishuraswadya. Dravida shishuhu aswadya. Combining it becomes dravida shishuraswadya tavayat kavinam praudhanam. Dha is mahaprana. Ajani kamaniyah kavaita. Here visarga followed by ka, jihva muliya, kamaniyah kavaita. So we have both upadhmaniya and jihva muliya in this verse. Payah paravaraha is upadhmaniya, that is visarga followed by pa. Kamaniyah kavaita is jihva muliya, visarga followed by ka. Now you must be familiar with these rules of pronunciation by now. They will help you in chanting any Sanskritam verse, not just Soundaryalahari. Some of these rules are applicable generally across all Sanskritam texts. Okay, we will do one pada at a time. Tavastanyam manye dharani dharakanye hridayataha.
Tavastanyam manye dharani dharakanye hridayataha. Tavastanyam manye dharani dharakanye hridayataha.
Payah paravaraha parivahati sarasvatamiva.
Payah paravaraha parivahati sarasvatamiva. Payah paravaraha parivahati sarasvatamiva.
Dayavatyadattam dravida shishuraswadyatavayat.
Dayavatyadattam dravida shishuraswadyatavayat. Dayavatyadattam dravida shishuraswadyatavayat.
Kavinam praudhanam ajani kamaniyah kavayita.
Kavinam praudhanam ajani kamaniyah kavayita. Kavinam praudhanam ajani kamaniyah kavayita.
You are very audible now, Vihan, with the mic. Good. So we will do half verse at a time. Tavastanyam manye dharani dharakanye hridayataha. Payah paravaraha parivahati sarasvatamiva. Vihan can't hear you at all now. Did you mute yourself by mistake?
Tavastanyam manye dharani dharakanye hridayataha. Payah paravaraha parivahati sarasvatamiva. Tavastanyam manye dharani dharakanye hridayataha. Payah paravaraha parivahati sarasvatamiva.
Dayavatyadattam dravida shishuraswadyatavayat. Kavinam praudhanam ajani kamaniyah kavayita.
दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानाम् अजनिकमनीयः कवयिता दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानाम् अजनिकमनीयः कवयिता.
Uttamam. Now the entire verse. Tabastanyam manye dharanidhar kanye hridayataha payah paravaraha parivahati sarasvatamiva dayavatya dattam द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानाम् अजनिकमनीयः कवयिता.
तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधर कन्ये हृदयतः पयः पारावारः परिवहति सारस्वतमिव दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानाम् अजनिकमनीयः कवयिता. तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधर कन्ये हृदयतः पयः पारावारः परिवहति सारस्वतमिव दयावत्या दत्तं द्रविडशिशुरास्वाद्य तव यत् कवीनां प्रौढानाम् अजनिकमनीयः कवयिता.
There's a question. Is there a dvitvam? Saraswata. Yes, that's is also doubling. Saraswatamiva. Okay. So, dhanyavadaha Vihan. Uttamam. Next, let us move to the last verse for today. That is 76. Prithvi. हरक्रोधज्वालावलिभिरवलीढेन वपुषा
हरक्रोधज्वालावलिभिरवलीढेन वपुषा हरक्रोधज्वालावलिभिरवलीढेन वपुषा
गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि
गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि
कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः
कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः
समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात्
समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात्
अचलतनये धूमलतिका
अचलतनये धूमलतिका अचलतनये धूमलतिका
जनस्तान् जानीते
जनस्तान् जानीते जनस्तान् जानीते
Tava janani romavaliriti.
Tava janani romavaliriti. Tava janani romavaliriti.
Uttamam. Harakrodha. So there dvitvam. Harakrodha. You see that k is doubling. So harakrodha jwala. Again dvitvam. J is doubling here. Harakrodha jwala. So k is doubling dvitvam. Again j is doubling dvitvam. Harakrodha jwala valibhiravalidhena. Samastapadam. So we cannot stop there. Dha, bhi, dhe, mahaprana. Vapusha, sha, dirgha. Gabhire, bha is mahaprana. Te, nabhi, sarasi. Again, we cannot stop in this line after the sixth letter. So we chant Gabhire, te, nabhi, sarasi. If you want to pause, you can pause after nabhi, sarasi. But I would suggest you chant the line at a stretch. Gabhire, te, nabhi, sarasi, krita sango, manasi jaha. Samuttasthau. Thau here mahaprana. Tasmat achalatanaye dhumalatika. Dhu is mahaprana. Janastam janite. Janastam anuswara followed by ja. So you could optionally combine the sandhi as janastan janite. Janastan janite, or you could chant the anuswara completely as janastam janite. Tava janani Roma valiriti. Here iti, ti is hrasva, so we should not prolong it. Okay, again third line, if you choose to combine tasmat achalatanaye, only if you combine the sandhi it becomes tasmad achalatanaye. So instead of t, d comes only if you combine. But now we are chanting splitting the sandhi, it would be tasmat, t only. Okay, we will do one pada at a time. Harakrodhajwalavalibhiravalidhena vapusha.
Harakrodhajwalavalibhiravalidhena vapusha. Harakrodhajwalavalibhiravalidhena vapusha.
Gabhire tenabhi sarasi krita sango manasi jaha.
Gabhire tenabhi sarasi krita sango manasi jaha. Gabhire tenabhi sarasi krita sango manasi jaha.
Samuttasthau tasmat achalatanaye dhumalatika.
Samuttasthau tasmat achalatanaye dhumalatika. Samuttasthau tasmat achalatanaye dhumalatika.
Janastan janite tava janani roma valiriti.
Janastan janite tava janani roma valiriti. Janastan janite tava janani roma valiriti.
Uttamam. Now half a verse at a time. Harakrodhajwalavalibhiravalidhena vapusha. Gabhire tenabhi sarasi krita sango manasi jaha.
Harakrodhajwalavalibhiravalidhena vapusha. Gabhire tenabhi sarasi krita sango manasi jaha. Harakrodhajwalavalibhiravalidhena vapusha. गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः
समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् अचलतनये धूमलतिका जनस्तान् जानीते तव जननि रोमावलिरिति
समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् अचलतनये धूमलतिका जनस्तान् जानीते तव जननि रोमावलिरिति समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् अचलतनये धूमलतिका जनस्तान् जानीते तव जननि रोमावलिरिति.
Uttamam. Now the entire verse. हरक्रोधज्वालावलिभिरवलीढेन वपुषा गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् अचलतनये धूमलतिका जनस्तान् जानीते तव जननि रोमावलिरिति
हरक्रोधज्वालावलिभिरवलीढेन वपुषा गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् अचलतनये धूमलतिका जनस्तान् जानीते तव जननि रोमावलिरिति हरक्रोधज्वालावलिभिरवलीढेन वपुषा गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् अचलतनये धूमलतिका जनस्तान् जानीते तव जननि रोमावलिरिति.
Uttamam Prithvi. So before we revise, two questions. One is that we haven't uploaded 61 to 70 revision of last class. I shall request our team to do it at the earliest. And secondly, a lot of you have been asking for the text combining the Sandhi. I will also request our team to upload that on the course page. Now we will revise 73 to 76, the verses we have learned today. Amute vakshojau amritarasamanikya kutupau na sandehaspandaha nagapati patake manasinaha pibantau tau yasmat avidita vadhu sangarasikau कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदनक्रौञ्चदलनौ वहत्यम्बस्तम्बेरमदनुजकुम्भप्रकृतिभिः समारब्धां मुक्तामणिभिरमलां हारलतिकां कुचाभोगो बिम्बाधर रुचिभिरन्तः शबलितां प्रतापव्यामिश्रां पुरदमयितुः कीर्तिमिव ते तव स्तन्यं मन्ये धरणिधर कन्ये हृदयतः पयः पारावारः parivahati sarasvatamiva dayavatya dattam dravida shishurasvadyatavayat kavinam praudhanam ajanikamaniya kavayita हरक्रोधज्वालावलिभिरवलीढेन वपुषा गभीरे तेनाभिसरसि कृतसङ्गो मनसि जः समुत्तस्थौ तस्मात् अचलतनये धूमलतिका जनस्तान् जानीते तव जननि रोमावलिरिति. Very good chanting of the panelists. Thank you very much, Annie Marie, Bhagini, Sundar Rajan, Mahodaya. Whoever is unable to join, here is always our recordings are available to you, so please make use of them, and please catch up. If you miss any class, you can catch up with the learning through the recordings on our YouTube, and the PPT will also be uploaded on the course page. Okay, Mala Mehta Bhagini, first verse, Kathamakrita Punya Prabhavati. The question is it P sound or PH sound in place of Visarga? Okay, so this is a very common question. Just a second. So that is what we call when a visarga is followed by p or p. Let me go to the first verse. Shivashaktya yuktaha. Here. Kathamakrita punya prabhavati. Even in the first line, shakta prabhavitum. Also, if you see Gurureva gatihi, even in that verse, Naguro paramam. Visarga followed by pa. So we have multiple instances like that which we come across. So whenever Visarga is followed by pa or pa in Sanskrit, we get what is called a upadhmaniya. We have a detailed explanation of this in the very first session and a brief revision in the second session. So if you go to our video, which is uploaded on YouTube also, Soundaryalahari chanting, first session, second session, you will get a detailed explanation on this. Now, the question is, the focus is not whether it is pa or pa. The focus is the way we pronounce it is, the lips have to be used. So, oshtau, now there are certain sutras in Sanskrit. They tell us exactly for what organ has to be used. For example, tongue, nose, so different things like this. Now there is a sutra which says that for upadhmaniya and for pavarga, we use oshtau, the lips. So papa babhama and upadhmaniya, we make use of the lips. So that has to be followed. So what we are doing in upadhmaniya is there is a sudden expulsion of air and we immediately close the lips. So shakta prabhavitum. So that is what is happening. Instead of the visarga, there is an expulsion of air and we are closing the lips. We have to make use of the lips to chant upadhmaniya. So the focus is that. Now I agree that when quite a few of us chant, it is heard as PH sound, but actually it is not PH sound. The focus, like I said, is not whether it is P or PH sound. We have to make use of the lips and we exhale through the mouth and then immediately we close the lips. So that is how upadhmaniya has to be chanted. Shakta prabhavitum. Sometimes it is heard as shakta prabhavitum, but there we should not make an effort to get the PH sound there, because that is not what upadhmaniya is. It is not that we have to replace the visarga with ph sound. That's not correct. So shakta prabhavitum. Okay, so sometimes when we chant, that ph sound is heard, that's all. But we should not chant ph sound thinking that there is a ph sound there. I hope this is clear, because this is a very common doubt in all our chanting courses. And kathamakrita punya prabhavati. Okay, so sometimes when some of us chant, even the ph sound is not heard. Nagurov paramam. If you give more volume there, sometimes nagurov is heard. But like I said, there is no ph. And also phalam in Sanskrit, pa, pha. Even there, it is not phalam. It is not like phal. So when you say phal in Hindi, if you see, we are not closing the lips completely. Phal, when you say, we are using the teeth and the lips, etc. together. But phal, when you say, we close the lips completely. So for pavarga and for upadhmaniya, oshtau, the lips have to be used. It is very precise in Sanskrit. Each varga, if you see, ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, ta varga, pa varga, if you see, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, we are using one part of the mouth. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. You can experiment and see. Each varga, one part is being used. Ta, how we are using the teeth there. So ta, again, different. And pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, of course, we are using the lips. And anunasika, nganya, nanama, we use the nose also. So it is, the rules of pronunciation are very precise. Vishalakshi Bhagini, for download, till now, I think we have not given for download in any course, but that's a very valid question. I will ask our Vyoma team whether we can give the verses for download. I will ask them and let you know. Thank you all so much for your very kind messages. I'll just see if there are any more questions, otherwise we can conclude. Revision classes. Yes, I don't know who is asking. It says anonymous attendee. We have been considering revision classes for a lot of courses. I hope we will have them, but it would only be after we finish this course. And revision, yes. So at the end of the course, before the assessment, we will have a few exclusive revision classes. You can ask me your doubts. You can chant. I can listen to you. Any verse, wherever you have a doubt, you want me to listen, we can do that. We will do that after we complete all the 100 verses, before we take up the assessment. Prakriti, Raju Mahodaya, Prakriti, yes, when we say pra, we use the lips. For kr, we don't close the lips for kr. Prakriti, that's how we do it. Vijay Lakshmi Bhagini, no, Upadmaniya is not Samyuktaksharam that follows a Visarga. No, the Upadmaniya is only when Visarga is followed by pa or pha. Samyuktaksharam follows a Visarga, there is no such rule. It depends on what the Samyuktaksharam is. Depending on that, we will see whether it becomes a Sandhi or anything. No, there is no F sound. Samyuktaksharam that follows the Visarga, there is no F sound there. Is it wrong if F sound comes? Janaki Bhagini, the thing is, if your question is with reference to Upadhmaniya, like I said, sometimes when there is an expulsion of air, when you close the lips immediately, we do hear that. But like I said, the focus should not be on F sound. In fact, very strictly speaking, there is no F sound in Sanskritam. What we see in English, that F sound, and in Hindi, fa, that is not there in Sanskrit. So we should not chant that F sound. That is why I emphasized on the focus, what the focus should be. To use the lips, expulsion of air and closing the lips immediately. Okay, but I wouldn't say that is wrong if the F sound comes, because I know a lot of them, when they chant, it comes. But but there is no F sound as such in Sanskrit, and the focus should not be to get the F sound. I hope that is clear. Revision classes, yes, we will have. Oh, Annie Marie Bhagini says there is a download button on Vyoma course page. Please go through that. Go through the course page, all of you. Annie Bhagini is telling us that there is a download option on the course page. Excellent job by the panelists. Thank you all panelists as usual. Janaki Bhagini, yes, she also says there is a download option. So please check the course page. We will conclude as usual with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyaha. Thank you very much for attending, and thank you to all the panelists. And I have noted your questions about the downloading, that it is not available for chanting. I will check that with the team, and we will see if we can give that option or what we can do about it. Dhanyavadaha punar milamaha. We will meet next Sunday at the same time.